Hello there, Vanessa Lanham-Day, and I want to talk to you a bit about cold calling today. It's the dread of most business owners having to get on the phone to people they've not spoken to before. Now, I got a cold call the other day on my direct line here, which is a surprise because in fact most calls go through to my answering service. So I picked up the phone and I said, Vanessa Lanham-Day, and the person said, is that the marketing company? Well, if we are a marketing company, this is Vanessa Lanham-Day, On Track Marketing, can I help? My name's Jane Bloggs, I'm from a printing company. We do all forms of prints, from large and small. We have all different format machines here. We're a family-run business. We pride ourselves on excellent customer service. It's really important to us that we look after our customers. We've been going for many years, and so on and so on and so on it went. And I interrupted her and I said, no thank you, I don't need any printing. Oh, okay, what, no brochures or leaflets or anything? No. What about business stationery, business cards? No. Do you do any large format printing? No. In fact, all our printing is sorted, thank you very much. Oh, is it possible I could send you a brochure for future reference, something to keep in your files for some point in the future? No. And I put the phone down. Now, in truth, was I the most helpful individual on the day? Probably not, because the fact is I do some printing, not a huge amount anymore. I tend to do it all via online printers, in fact, but I do some printing. I certainly have done a lot of printing for clients in the past. And because of the job that I do now, I work with lots of business owners and I'm encouraging them to get print done. So in fact, I could have recommended her to a whole number of people. The fact is she just got so much wrong about that call, not least of which she didn't actually know who she was talking to, and that's a cardinal sin. She didn't know my name, she didn't know the name of the business, or it was written on her desk on a spreadsheet and she couldn't, in the second I answered, reference that information. She didn't even ask if I was the right person to be put through to. She didn't have a nice easy one-liner that said we're a family-run business, we do fantastic customer service, is that something that would interest you? To find out, to engage me in the conversation, she made the cardinal mistake of just talking about herself. And in truth, it doesn't matter what kind of marketing you're doing, if all you ever do is talk about yourself, you are going to alienate me. The other really important thing that she didn't do was understand why I would even want to change printers, because if I was already doing print for myself or for my clients, I would already have printers in place. She'd have to come up with an incredibly compelling reason why what they did was so much better than my existing suppliers. I wasn't just sitting there hoping that some printer was going to call me to deal with a queue of artwork that was sitting by the front door. Of course not. All my printing needs would have been sorted. So she made the cardinal mistake of just talking about herself and not putting herself in my shoes and understanding my situation. Now, one of the really good ways that most business owners can resolve this is by writing first. If you write first, you write a really compelling letter, and I'm really good at helping people with those. You send something really interesting that stops someone in their tracks. You identify all the issues they might have with an existing supplier. Maybe they don't get great service. Maybe they're not on time. Maybe they need a second or 2 or 3 different people to support them. There are lots of reasons why another printer could have been just what I wanted if they'd have sat and thought about it, and you can get those points across in a letter and make it massively more likely I'm going to have that telephone call with you and maybe start a conversation. So one thing you might be interested in, I did a webinar 3 or 4 years ago about the Sandler sales process. You may have heard of Sandler, an American guy, died in the 70s in fact, but his son now runs the business. It's a really powerful process. It's fantastic for professional salespeople. It's even better for non-professional salespeople. It gives you a structured approach, how to pitch, how to sell in the next step, how to get buy into a phone call. So if you're interested in getting that, well, why not email me? I'll stick a little link in the below this blog as to how you can get hold of that. So if that would be of interest about how to sell in the next step, I'm very happy to supply that to you. So I hope, so it's still got a bit of a croaky voice here. I've spent the first 4 weeks of the year dealing with a lurgy, so apologies if I'm crackling around today, but I hope that's been of help, because pretty much all business owners need to do a bit of cold calling sometimes, so don't make the mistakes that she did. I hope that's been of help. Bye bye.